This is Paul Cornish, and you're watching First Look.
Paul Cornish is a brilliant young pianist from Houston, Texas, who's just released his debut album titled You're Exaggerating on the Blue Note label. Paul, congratulations on this highly auspicious and sophisticated opening gambit, man. Welcome to Blue Note Records.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, look, man, it would be remiss not to point out that you are the latest Blue Note artist to have come out of Houston's High School for Performing and Visual Arts. You're following in footsteps blazed by Jason Moran, Robert Glasper, James Francis, Chris Dave, Eric Harlan, Kendrick Scott, Walter Smith. How's that experience shaped the way you approach music?
I mean, it's kind of in everything. Because like you said, you're very much aware of that legacy when you walk through those halls. You know, as soon as you walk to the jazz room, there's a big plaque of or like the All-State uh, jazz, attendees, and you just see
Really?
those same names you just mentioned on the wall, and then those guys would come by as well. It's very much like a family in the sense that you know Jason Moran came by. I remember Robert Glasper just stopped by. You know, whenever they come to Houston,
Right.
and so there's kind of just awareness of just the level and kind of this unsaid expectation of um, you know where you should strive for. So yeah, it definitely still informs kind of how I approach everything to this day.
You've become highly visible over the last few years as a member of Josh Redman's band. What are some of the important lessons that you've drawn from that experience?
I would say excellence and openness. And he's like one of the most thorough and consistent people I think I've ever been around in my life. Even with, he's working out every day. He's training for marathons. And he has the same tenacity with how he approaches music. Like before and after the show, he's like shedding, and he's really hard on himself. Like you know, I've never heard him have a bad night, but to him, it's like, man, that was he like there was one time he like apologized, and we're like, for what? Like, but even just like that mentality, you can tell that's why he is who he is, and so that's been really inspiring. And then the openness part, he's been really you know, even though all of us in his band, like we of course grew up just like admiring him and the bands he's had, and but he's still open to what we bring to the table, and he encourages that. So that's been really inspiring to see that as well.
Yeah, he's a great leader, man. A
He
great
really
band.
is.
Speaking of being a leader, you put together a really incredible trio with Josh Crumbly on bass and Jonathan Pinson on drums. Tell us a little bit about the band and the musical conversation that takes place on this album.
Absolutely. Yeah, it took a long time. I feel like to come with this big configuration because I knew I always wanted my own trio, but just finding the right pieces has been it's just a tricky thing because it's not just about finding the most killing players. Even though these two are I think are some of the best, especially in their generation.
I
But
agree.
yeah, it's about how it all works together. So I'd known Pinson a little bit longer, and I knew he was the drummer for me. And then we done only did a handful of gigs before we recorded, but once I heard Josh Crumbly and Pinson together, I knew that was it. That's combination. Um, and they both just kind of have this spirit about them that's just like uh, I was thinking of words to describe it. I think they're equally as audacious, with how they play as they are listeners. Like
Mhm.
there's kind of this like um, I don't know, like this really kind of aggressive, open spirit that is evident in how they speak, you know, with their language, but also how they listen. It's like they're down for wherever it goes, and they're also going to push it uh,
Yeah.
in that direction. So uh, yeah, I think those two they made it fun. Like I knew I had nothing to worry about, you know, and I feel like when that's the feeling, you know, it almost feels like anything's possible. Like I feel like we could have played Mary Had a Little Lamb and it would have been just as interesting.
One of my favorite songs on the record is called DB Song. I think it's a great example of the interaction happening among the three of you. Tell us a little something about this track.
Yeah. It's interesting. I'm glad you brought this one up because this is also one of my favorite tracks, and I feel like no one else agrees with me. But I got the idea for the rhythm from like a drum and bass thing, um,
Oh,
and
that's the DB
that's the
is
DB in it.
drum and
Yeah,
bass.
drum and bass.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
But it's fun. Like it obviously evolved into this other type of groove that's not really drum and bass, or at least you know, for the purists out there.
Yeah.
Uh, but it's a great opening track, and like we start the shows with it as well because it kind of just has that invitation, welcome thing to it, and it's a pretty like you know not too technically difficult. It's kind of you can just get into it and kind of go a lot of places. So
Yeah. Let's play a little bit of it.
for sure.
That's Paul Cornish from his debut album, You're Exaggerating, a song called DB Song. Paul, it's a killer record, man, and we're proud to have you on Blue Note. Thanks for coming here to talk about it today.
And that means the world. Yeah, thanks for having me. This is absolutely surreal. I used to watch all of these over the years, so it's crazy to be on it now.
That's great, man. All right, thanks for watching, folks. We'll see y'all next time on First Look. If you enjoyed First Look and would like to see more, please hit the subscribe button and also click the bell icon. That way, you'll be notified when we post our next video.